And we're back. We've classed up the set a little bit here. There's a chandelier hanging overhead. Seems like almost too classy. I feel awkward in here, you know? It's like Jess's house here, and it's all of a sudden, look at this. All these doodads and knickknacks.
Knickknacks and who's what.
Exactly.
And cats and grandmas. And
So we have the whole family here. That's good. That's good to know. So we haven't been here for a little while. We haven't done an episode in a little bit, but we're excited to be back. And as you know, we have Amazon James out today.
Hey guys, hey everybody.
Jess has been on before, so thanks for coming back out. Thanks for having us in your home, actually, coming out. I mean, we're actually out at your place. So.
love it. Love to have you guys here.
Got the dogs out. We're having a good time. We lit a fire on your coffee table here.
There you go.
Your table,
Okay.
yeah. So that's cool. We also have Lindsay out today. So you know her face as well. She's all around. But, so...
Jackson will be making guest appearances, I'm sure, on the camera.
He'll be jumping in, I'm sure. Oh, look at he's looking at Lindsay right now.
Yeah, let's have it. Jackson, come by James.
Come here.
So Jackson is a 4-year-old rescue dog. I rescued him when he was 10 months old, and he's actually a therapy dog. He comes to work with me. I'm a high school teacher, so he comes to work with me and works with the kids all the time. So
Yeah, he's pretty sweet. So I can see that working out pretty nicely. So,
he'll be making some cameos, I'm
yeah,
sure.
right? Absolutely.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, look at he's like, what's up? I'm in here. Yes. Yes. You're on the
okay, all
episode
done,
now.
bud.
So today, the topic at hand, we're talking about some bullying. And we've all had some instances in which we've felt maybe some bullying recently. But I do want to start this out first of like some history. We all went to school, and I'm sure everyone got bullied a little bit, but let's delve into our past a little bit here. Did you have any experiences with being bullied in school, Lindsay?
Yeah, I did. Growing up, I was made fun of for being super pale. So,
Super pale.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it's an interesting thing.
You know, people telling me that I should go tanning and just like stuff like that. Like I always felt like very insecure, even though it's like something, you know.
Did you go to school in Miami or something? Everyone's pasty around
It's
here.
like the model look. All the models.
Yeah, right?
That's what everybody wants.
Yeah, right? Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
We're getting made fun of. I'm pasty too. I just got the hair to cover it up. It kind of keeps me looking less, you know, it darkens my skin. Look at that. You got to tan all year long. James, have you felt any instances of bullying growing up?
Yeah, I was bullied a lot growing up. Started mostly in middle school and then worked its way up from there. You know, I was kind of a chunky kid.
Okay.
I had buck teeth also, so
Then you just got
I was
tall
called
one day.
A bunch of names, you know, and it got to me. You know, it wasn't an easy thing to deal with, especially having to go back to school the next day to deal with the same stuff you dealt with the day before.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And I know the weight thing in school is easy.
it's an easy target.
What happened then? You just all of a sudden got tall one day and it all kind of dispersed. And what happened?
Yeah, closer to my senior year, I started sprouting up.
Okay.
And, you know, all the weight just dropped on down.
And it happens to a lot of people is, you know, body's going through all these changes. I think they call it puberty, right? I think that's what it is. Is that the technical term for it? But then Jess, any experiences with bullying when you were in school?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's typical. And girls, as Lindsay would know, be able to understand, girls, I think are pretty rough, especially like junior high ages. Girls can be really mean to each other.
Yeah.
So that's actually why I became a teacher, was because I had such a rough time in school growing up. It was very, very hard for me to want to go to school because there was a lot of friend issues going on. I didn't really connect with a lot of people. And I wanted to be the teacher that could help those kids that were getting bullied and help the kids that didn't feel comfortable there. So that's why I got into what I do.
I'm sure they feel like you're an ally, so.
Yes, I try to be. That's the most important part.
It seems like you've accomplished your goal there. But yeah, main thing for me was the last name, Peacock. There's a lot of easy things you can do with that. If you guys want to get creative, you know, you could shout them out. But I have heard them all, though. and there's a lot of good ones. So names, I think, is an easy thing. I don't know if you guys, anyone get named stuff? You guys didn't have any weird names. No, just Brown.
Brown is an easy one.
I guess Brown. I guess you could do some things with Brown.
You know what? Unfortunately, if somebody wants to bully, they can find something. You could be
That's
the
true.
most perfect, nothing.
Oh yeah, they could use your first initial and your middle initial with facts.
It just depends on how creative these bullies are. That's what it really goes back to. How's your vocabulary? Are you quippy? Can you come up with something quick? So that's what makes a really strong bully. Those kind of attributes. So.
JT Fats was the number one thing.
JT Fats.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Jesus.
I mean,
You come up with anything, I guess. Yeah. So, as far as I know, you've done some. Obviously you work in the school system, but I know you have a little bit of research on kids in school and dealing with this. And have you seen the laws and the policies getting stricter over time with bullying?
So I think schools are addressing this a lot more. Right now, and I do a lot of research on bullying, and that's why I really was excited to be a part of this podcast, and I really wanted to be a part of it because it's something I'm very passionate about. 73% of students right now in a 2023 study, 73% of students are reporting that they've been bullied sometime in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Whether it was at a younger age, an older age, 73% is such a huge number to me.
Yeah, that's higher than I would expect, yeah.
Yeah, and then when you look at that number, 73%, when we look at teenagers, 95% of teenagers are saying that they've been bullied.
Wow.
So these are huge numbers. These aren't just a couple kids. This isn't something that's small. As school districts and as schools, we're definitely looking at it more. We're trying to find different ways to help kids and what can we do with this and how do we deal with this in a school setting. So
what are you finding as working best in these situations between individuals that one's getting bullied and one is the bullier
and the bullyee?
Exactly, yes.
What we have been doing a lot in my building and what I see happening in a lot of buildings is we're doing what's called a peer mediation.
Okay.
So a lot of the time we can take the students who are the student who's the bullyee and the bullier.
Yes.
And then other students who agree to help facilitate a discussion.
Okay.
So we kind of take the staff members out and let students come in and help each other.
How are you finding these kids, like student leaders, student council
and
members or something?
they can volunteer to do it, or if it's sometimes if it's part of a friend group, we always have an adult there, obviously, to make sure that
so
everything
it doesn't go
is
to like Lord of the Flies or anything.
But we find that once the two people are in front of each other, a lot of the time that bullying goes away because most of the time bullying can be behind a screen, behind a computer. You're looking at it, you don't have to face the person. I can't walk up to you. I'm a lot less likely to walk up to you in your face and say something bad than I am to do it over a computer where you can't respond to me, right?
Behind a brick wall, basically.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So peer mediation seems to work really. That's one of the techniques that we're using in schools.
Yeah, and it's interesting actually that you say that because that's the reason why we started doing Bonfire Banter 2.5 years ago was people in our family and friend group were fighting online about politics and started saying really nasty things about each other. And we were like, you know what? You two have known each other for a long time. Never heard you speak this, this way to each other. So we need to get you in the same room and let's have a discussion. And as soon as they showed up to do that, it was exactly what we thought. They were super cordial and actually had a meaningful conversation. And it kind of proved our concept. And since then, that's really what we're striving to do is kind of take the anonymity out of all these conversations and being able to have face-to-face conversations because there is something to be said about all of us have at least most of us have that feel of empathy and sympathy that if you're looking at someone's face and you can see how they're reacting to the things you're saying to them, that's pretty powerful. To watch you hurt someone in the way that maybe they would even cry to a point. It's like to feel that and see you just did that to somebody is way more powerful than it could ever be online because you're not seeing the results of your behavior. So it makes a ton of sense.
Well, you bring up the online piece, right? So when we look at online, so we said 73% of students in schools report to being bullied. 98% of teenagers right now are connected to the internet. Okay, and out of that 98%, 85% of them use social media.
Okay.
So again, we're making it readily available when they're online and using social media. It becomes a way bigger problem. If they're only face to face, it doesn't happen as much.
Is there any stats or like any split on regular ass bullying versus cyberbullying? Is it more affluent or basically or?
Well, again, they're looking at 73% of students being bullied in person or in their lifetime. That includes cyberbullying. Okay. With
watch his hand.
Sorry. Yeah. we had a hand come across the table. That was kind of
scared her. It was like that Wednesday thing. Yeah.
Sticking to students, and then I'm going to kind of move past that because there are crazy statistics here when we move to looking at adults. But with students, 85% are saying that they've been bullied actually online.
Okay.
When it comes to adults, 41% of adults are saying that they have been bullied at some point online.
Wow. So, and I know that ties right into kind of...
I fall in that percentage.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, all of us here at this point. So, with all this going on online and all this craziness, has it affected your day-to-day life? Or maybe when that first happened, has it affected your day-to-day life?
Yeah, it's definitely affected my day-to-day life. In the beginning, it was really hurtful, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I internalized a lot of the comments, and in an unhealthy way. I feel like it all added to my daily stress and just made work harder, and it was harder to concentrate on things. You wake up and then the first thing you see online are comments attacking you or attacking your friends, and it was just a really hurtful thing to see, and knowing that you really can't do anything to control it
or escape it, really.
Or escape it. So it's been really hard, and it's affected us in more ways than whoever has put out these comments knows. And it needs to stop.
One thing I would tell you, though, is that throughout all this, you've been really calm and cool and collected through all of it. So I do appreciate that, because I know a lot of us in the team have gotten upset at times, and you've always felt like you were the one that was most grounded. So either you were internalizing that really well, or you're just really calm in the face of adversity. But thank you for being so calm. Yeah, absolutely.
That's for sure.
But then James, same thing. I mean, like, how did that affect you when this all started happening? In your day-to-day life.
Well, growing up. At a young age, I dealt with depression, and you can get depressed at a young age, and you get depressed at an older age too. It doesn't matter what age you get, what age you are. Well, with all the comments, it really put me in a hole. Yeah. Especially in my mind, and I fell deep in that hole, and it was hard to get out with all the hateful and nasty comments that were going around, especially all the lies, and these were towards my friends also, and I did not feel good about that whatsoever.
That's one thing that I know that we've all taken away from it. I know I'm going to say this to you, but you already know it, but these people don't know you, so that's where I start to feel a little bit about it. Is I'm not that way. I know I'm not a con artist or a con man or a scammer or anything. So that's why I've been able to push it aside and be able to keep myself from being mean. Is just knowing obviously if you're saying those things about you or about Lindsay or myself, or even I've seen you get into it on these, I get to sleep at night because I know that we're not that way. So I hope you both feel that way, and that about how we feel about you as well. So
and one thing you also have to remember too, for all of us need to remember, and everybody watching
just
needs
getting
to
bullied,
remember, is that being bullied is number one, it's a serious issue, and number two, it's not something that you just can say, oh, okay. looking again, I like to look at data and studies, and that's just how my mind works. 37% of adults who say that they have been bullied develop depression from being bullied. So what you're saying makes a lot of sense. You know, it's not something that's easy to deal with.
You know, it was even harder to go to work those couple days afterwards and trying to do my job with having all that on my mind and on my plate. And as much as I didn't want to look at the comments,
it's hard not to.
It reeled me in.
And that's the thing too, is about people saying the same things to you over and over and over again. If you keep hearing someone pounding this idea into your head that you're bad or you're this way or that way, eventually you can't help but start thinking like, are they right? Am I missing something? Like, and start to then, now you're second guessing yourself, you know? So that's the dangerous part about it, I feel like, is that you keep hearing that same message over and over again, you start to question things. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. And another thing that can develop from that is a social anxiety. Yeah. We're looking at 41% develop a social anxiety because of bullying. So you don't want to now engage with people because you feel like, who do you trust, right? Yeah. Who do you know that, you know, you're starting to feel bad about yourself. It's hard to present yourself to other people and it's difficult. So it really, there's a lot more that happens than people really realize.
So I know there was, you know, a lot of conversation, we've talked about this before, but like, why do some of these people do these things? Like, in my mind, no one that's happy goes out and bullies people online. Like, if you're super happy with your life and you're a super happy person, you're not out there talking crap about people online. So I'm just always curious about the psychology of these kinds of things and like why people do that. But I mean, do you know any kind of reasons that would lead people to do these things?
So again, me and my brain that has to analyze everything and read a lot of studies. I figured I'd
be okay with this question.
We have been doing a lot of studies, and you have seen over the years, especially with cyberbullying, there has been a lot of new research that has been put in by psychologists of why this is happening. Why do people feel the need to bully? Why are people being bullied? The three top reasons in over several studies. First of all, it's non-confrontational and anonymous.
That's why they start bullying, is because there's no, you know, they don't have any kind of repercussions.
Correct. Yeah. So you can be completely anonymous. You don't even have to say who you are. Yeah. And I don't have to look you in the face and say something mean to you, right? I can hide behind my little computer here. You have
you
no
can have
idea.
any kind of profile picture up. You don't have to have
doesn't even have to be you.
Picture. Who knows who that could be?
Yeah. And that emboldens a lot of people, okay? And especially people who are insecure themselves. Yeah. Right? So these people are already feeling insecure, and to protect their own egos and feel superior, they can type something out and it makes them feel a little bit better about themselves then. Yeah. So one of the big things that they say when we teach our kids in school is hurt people. Yeah. Yeah. So when people are hurting, they tend to hurt others. Out at other people. Yes. Number two, you don't have to be popular or have physical dominance over somebody. Yeah. You don't have to be a big dude to bully, right? You can be anybody. So you don't have to have that piece like you would in front of people.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And then a lot of the time, no feedback from the victim. If I walk up to Lindsay and I say something really nasty to her and I watch her cry, that's, you know, most people will make them feel bad. Mm-hmm. If you're behind a computer screen, you're getting no feedback. So there's no reason that people feel like they need to stop. So.
Yeah, and I know that at one point in my life, I was in this, it sounds kind of funny, but it was a fantasy football league. And I was with some friends and their parents, and the dads mainly. But I'd gotten into this tiff with my buddy's dad, and like we started kind of going at it, and it was years. Like we were like kind of going back and just trying to get each other irritated online and this messenger group that we had. And at one point, he started making some things, and after a while, it started to get really nasty. We were taking personal digs at each other, and I remember like I would say like a really nasty comment to him, and I would then like feel like good for a while and be like, I got him with that one. And like, then I'd be like scared about the response. And then there would be a response. And it was like, I was thinking about it all the time. and it was like consuming me. It was like,
get under the skin. And
yeah.
Get a reaction
And now it's like,
which would have fueled your energy up.
Exactly. Yeah. So at one point I just realized I'm like, I stopped being in that fantasy football league, and it was like, it felt so much better just to not even engage or like be a part of that kind of relationship. So I guess my message to the people out there that are bullying would be, it feels way better when you stop talking crap to people online. You'll feel better about yourself. You'll feel lighter. So why don't we all go out there and focus on ourselves and
be kind.
Be kind. Exactly. But I don't know. Have you guys ever felt like you got tied into maybe you bullying people at any point in your life, or you look back at it like, oh man, I was a dick. Top of the head. Do you have any? I mean, do you have anyone that you ever bullied?
Ding, ding,
yeah.
ding, ding.
Yeah. Who have you bullied?
My brother, who's behind the camera over there.
See?
Jackson agrees.
Yeah, Jackson's mad.
Here.
He's like, Mom, you bullied?
I will absolutely. I will cop to that. And you know, obviously we had a brother-sister relationship, and it was what it was. But I can't stand behind just saying, oh, it was a brother and you pick on your brother. Yeah. It was absolutely bullying. And there were things that, you know, I think crossed the line a little bit. Now, a lot of times when you talk about family situations in a family dynamic, you feel most comfortable with the people that are closer to you. So sometimes you take things out on the people who you are closest to. But it really was a situation of, you know, not being so kind. And now I am the biggest, most fierce protector of my brother in the entire world, which is, you know,
sparked a lot of why you've been involved.
Which is why you have seen me being involved in some things, because you know, I would protect my brother with my own life, and that's it. There's nothing that would stop me from protecting him. And in regards to that, also his friends, his circle, right? And if it's me bullying him, it's absolutely okay. And I'm looking that way because he's sitting right behind the camera there. But anybody else that hurts him or hurts his friends, then, you know, I feel like that's somewhere where I need to get involved. So.
Which, again, is something that you were doing at one point in your life, didn't really realize the effects it was having.
Right.
You accepted that you did it and moving past it, and have made amends for those things you've done.
And I think that's okay. And I can feel
it's
like
never too late.
Right.
Never too late to make amends. We can all make amends. So we have all said that we've experienced some childhood bullying, but we've all actually been experiencing some adult bullying as of recent. And tell us a little bit about that, what you've been seeing.
Been dealing with some stuff more recently than in the past. I mean, there's always been things online in the past that come up, but nothing to the extreme that it has been recently. And I think people really do forget that we are human and we all are dealing with stuff. Everybody's dealing with stuff on a daily basis. And, you know, everybody deals with it in a different way also. So you don't know how somebody else is going to deal with it. It could affect them in more ways than you know. And, you know, it could lead to really, really bad things, and you don't know. And the comments that I've seen recently have been just terrible and just really hurtful to see, and personally, I'm trying to defend a situation where I feel like I can't. It's almost like I can't do anything, even though I know the situation of what went on and everything. So, but, you know, it's just a really difficult situation. And
I think going up to it's kind of the first thing though is like all of us in this could have done things better. You know? So, but it is a natural reaction to kind of defend yourself. And if someone's going to say things that are untrue and mean and hurtful to you, it's like all of our natural reactions would be like, let me tell you why you're wrong, or let me hurt you by saying something mean. We're all looking at their profile pictures like, oh, I want to get you back.
Nobody knows the situation.
And that's the hardest part is that it's all hearsay and everyone's just creating their own ideas of what's happening and no one really knows other than us.
They're looking at one side of the story instead of the three sides that a lot of people talk. You know, some people say two sides, but three.
Yeah, well, they say it's one person's side, the other person's side, and then the truth. Yeah, exactly. Because and that does make sense to me. I mean, it's usually down the middle somewhere, and when emotions get tied in, you do forget a lot of things, and because you're making these impulsive decisions, a lot of times you do stuff that's a little out of character for all of us. So and that's what I'm saying too, is the people that have been online doing some of this, it's not too late to just look inside yourself to make yourself have a brighter day and a brighter existence by scrolling past anything that upsets you, finding things that makes you happy online, or maybe getting offline for a little bit. That's never a bad idea.
Give it a try. It might work.
For a little while, maybe jump off for a couple months.
You try it, so.
Feels good sometimes to be off the map for a little while.
Sure does.
But is there anything that from your analytical side that people can do to help go through this?
So I think it's really important if you are getting bullied to talk to somebody about it, right? Keeping to yourself, which I know a lot of the time is people's...
It feels right, kind of, like I'm
reaction.
Strong enough.
Right. I don't want to admit to somebody that I need help or that this is really bothering me. I'm a tough guy, and I don't want to look like, I'm kind of wimpy.
Like they're getting to me.
Yes. I think the first thing is that you really do. You need to talk to somebody. Again, depression is coming from this.
You got to have somebody to vent out to.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of times you don't have anybody to vent out to. Yeah. Or, it's the wrong time and the wrong place to reach out to somebody. Yeah. Because either they're busy, they got something going on with their own lives. So just to find that one person to talk to, I mean, it really means a lot to that person.
Can mean all the difference.
Getting bullied,
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any hotlines or anything that you could call for something like this?
So expounding off of that, in addition to talking to somebody, now that could be for kids, it could be a teacher. It could be somebody that you're close to in your life. If you're religious, somebody from your church, somebody that you trust. Family. Anybody who's around you that can give you that support.
Not talking about you necessarily, but...
Now, I do want to go outside of that.
Get a lighter.
Because you are completely and totally correct. That's exactly what you need to be doing. This is bubbling here, and it's making me nervous.
No, it's just because the thing's still hot. It's all still hot. That's why. We'll see if I light my hand on fire. There we go. Okay.
All right, fire is lit.
We're back.
A little bit better. Outside of that, if you really are in a position and there isn't anybody who you feel comfortable talking to, there is a hotline that anybody can dial, you can call, or if you want to text, if you're, in a position where it's a day where you don't want to get out of bed, where you don't feel like you can get to work, where you are feeling like hurting yourself, because remember, when we're looking at statistics, 25% of adults who are being bullied are engaging in self-harm.
Really?
Yes. So this isn't just, I can shake it off and this is done. A lot of people, this is going farther than people think. So there is a hotline 988 from any cell phone, landline, 988 if you want to text it. 988. Okay. It is the suicide hotline and self-help hotline. You don't have to be wanting to commit suicide to go on that hotline. But there are people there 24/7 that will answer your call, will text you back, will be there to talk to and give you any kind of information and some support. Yeah. In addition, most schools, if this is a school-related thing, schools have hotlines on their web pages where you can anonymously report things. If you are feeling scared and it is getting to a point where it is cyber stalking or cyberbullying to a point where you don't feel safe. I know, Lindsay, you and I had a conversation outside of tonight where you said that there were points where you actually felt unsafe.
Yeah.
Because people were saying things that were making you, and I don't want to...
Just never comfortable. I mean, that's never okay. Yeah. Like, if you're starting to think about your well-being at home,
you're always watching your back.
Like, that's illegal. I mean, you can't do that to people, right? I mean, that's
It is absolutely illegal. All 50 states right now have laws against cyberbullying and cyberstalking. And I actually have it in front of me for the Illinois law, but again, this goes across all 50 states. Every state may have it labeled a little bit differently, but someone who uses an electronic device to harass another on at least 2 occasions commits the crime of cyber stalking. So that's 2 comments online.
Wow.
That's
2
text
comments.
messages.
That's interesting.
2 phone, whatever it needs to be, whatever it is. And Illinois does not take this lightly, guys. If this is happening and you do not feel safe, this needs to be reported. In the state of Illinois, it is a class 4 felony.
Wow.
And that is punishable by 1 to 3 years in jail and a $25,000 fine.
So, again,
It's not petty stuff.
be happy. Go online. Look at fun dog, cat,
Serious.
any animal videos. Go make some comedians. Go laugh online. And let's not engage in, things that can get you a felony.
kind.
Right? Be kind.
Kind if you don't.
Jeez
like what you
Louise.
see.
Scroll on.
Scroll on.
Scroll on.
Yep.
If you need some therapy, I have a therapy dog. Reach out. We'll bring
Yes.
them by.
Yeah.
If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Or keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, just keep it to yourself.
And honestly, what are you looking to gain
Yeah.
by being so nasty online? These people are coming out to like, what are you looking for the end result to be?
They want to hurt.
That's what I'm saying. That's their end result in their mind is like they're just hoping
And what's
that it
crazy too,
hurts.
even if you give it a result, chances are those people that we're hating are gonna always feel that way.
Yeah, you're not
You're
gonna.
not gonna change.
Yeah.
You're not gonna change anybody with
Yeah.
telling another side of the story.
Nope.
You know,
If those people already don't
Regardless,
believe you,
not
they're
even,
already
yeah. All these people think they're entitled to everything because they donated. You give to give out of your heart. You don't give to get back like you purchased something.
Yeah.
And that's where it's wrong.
Nice thing is too is that Smile's looking great,
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
really enjoying it. That's
and
for
the
sure.
the car is looking good too.
Hey, the car is
it's all looking good. Yeah.
I'm sure I'm babying it. So
Yeah, as everyone does, you get a new car and.
When's your next appointment?
Yeah, so when's the next appointment?
So I am actually having my denture surgery for my implants April 6th. So it's
coming up soon. Okay.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. That's
And
gonna be a
as
big
you
one.
guys would say, you're stoked. Right?
Stoked. I'm stoked with that hat on. Look like you're at like a ski resort. So yeah,
So-
stoked works. Yeah.
We all need to give you some encouraging comments because I'm sure it's a little nerve-wracking to have surgery.
It is. I'm not really trying to think about it, but I know after I wake up, I'm not going to be in pain right away. But as soon as that pain wakes up, that's when it's gonna. Because I don't know what it's gonna feel like.
Yeah.
I've had a tooth pulled, a couple teeth at one time, but nothing like drilling into your bone. I mean,
It doesn't sound fun. I have had one.
Dr. Brawley's like, hey, you're gonna be all good. Like you're gonna sleep like a little baby through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still a little nervous.
No, that's natural. The good thing is just always thinking about the end goal.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really great when the pain goes away.
It really will.
Yeah,
those
absolutely.
first couple days back at work, I'll take a little time off of work.
You're gonna need to, yeah.
I'm gonna need to. It's just gonna be too much pain to deal with. But
Yeah, driving around in a ton of pain is not ideal.
I should be all right after a week or so.
Yeah. What did the doctor say? Did he say about a week?
Said about a week.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, I'm gonna be on a liquid diet for 3 months until I get my crowns.
Oh my
So
goodness.
that's gonna be.
You're gonna be getting svelte, you know? You just
man,
really
I'm
just
gonna
cutting it.
start lifting some weights, no. So.
So
Wow. That's 3 months. So that's
it's an intense surgery.
This is a big commitment. This is a big
It really
thing.
is. It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
And I
So-
think what we forget sometimes is to think about be empathetic towards others. And I probably go a little overboard, but to think, that's
It's
a
major
big
surgery.
deal.
It's major surgery
I
he's
hope you
getting.
guys in the comments
It's not like
can maybe
one implant. It's
Yeah.
going 9.
It's massive surgery.
So-
They're
Yeah.
putting multiple holes into your jawbone, like drilling them in. It is a serious surgery, and that's why there's a lot of
need some
prep
help.
work and there's stages involved. And why this can't just be like, oh, hey, we met you, James, and you're gonna need a new tomorrow you'll get them, and the next day you'll be eating like a.
I mean, if I would have went one way, that probably would have been the outcome.
Yeah.
Is get it all done in one day.
Yeah.
But
it's not the right way to do it.
The right way.
Yes.
It's the more safer way. It lasts longer. It's more durable. So I'm going the right way with it. Yeah. It's going to take a little process to heal, but I should be in. It's
a long-term fix. So, that's the nice thing. Is it? It's a long-term fix.
I got an awesome surgeon, and overall, she's treated me nothing but great. So I'm really happy.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good. Yep. So, Lindsay, do you think that in its current state, social media, do you think it's even a safe place or healthy place to be?
It really depends on, I would say, the individual and what's going on. But for me right now and a couple of other people, I know that it's probably not the safest. I try not to engage much on there anymore. I don't really post anything anymore.
What were some of the specifics of these things that are making you feel like it wasn't a safe space?
Just all the negativity coming out of it. I think, when you surround yourself with negativity, you take that in, and I'm really sensitive to energies around me, and I think it's just caused a lot of mental and emotional distress, and just stuff that I don't really want to see every day and deal with, all the comments that are pouring in, whether they're about me or about others, it still is hurtful to see, definitely because they aren't true, and you can only do so much. So I think the safest thing is to probably just give it a break in a way. Like, yes, you could still have social media, but you don't have to engage on it all the time. Yeah.
And then James, same kind of thing. I mean, do you think that social media, the way that it is right now, is a safe place to be?
I don't know. When I first jumped on social media, it didn't really feel like all this stuff. Like, it's nice to see a dog put a smile on their face, make your day a little bit more. But yeah, being online, guys, it definitely it hits me in a different position, especially with everything I've been dealing with all this stuff going on. And it's just been the hardest thing to deal with, guys. It really has. But yeah, I try not to go on as much anymore.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of moderation again. It's just not letting yourself get too involved. Go out there, post your stuff you're doing, and there's gonna be gonna be people that like you and hate you always in life, in any situation you're in. It's just, how do you feel about yourself? If you're happy with your life, post your videos. Go on, and people are going to say good and bad things, and the best thing you can do is just try not to let it affect you as much as possible. But easier said than done, obviously. But
a lot of people get sucked into social media where they're constantly on 24/7. Okay, anytime of the day, right when they wake up, they're always checking that stuff. Where give it a little break. Take a little time off because you will see a better outcome. I mean, I did it because I'd be glued and I wouldn't get nothing done. And you still have a life outside of the social media stuff, whatever you guys do.
It starts to consume your life.
It does. It really does.
Because you're just always looking at the comments, waiting for when you make a comment, you're waiting for the next one to come in and be like, what are they going to say to me? And like I said, that earlier situation that I was in it felt way better to me once I had gotten out of it and I was able to apologize to this guy and kind of just separate myself from it. And it was one of those things that kind of reminds me of Billy Madison, when Billy's calling around and he calls up Steve Buscemi and he's like, hey man, I'm really sorry about bullying you back then. He's like, it's okay. And then, he takes the list. It's like people to kill and he crosses them off the list. So I'm like, and again, to everyone out there, it's never too late, okay? You might call someone in your past and childhood you bullied. You say sorry. And even if it's 30 years later, the effect that can have on someone. And who knows, that person can come out and end up saving your life, at an assembly with a sniper rifle or something. I don't know. But, so there's always that, guys. Let's be kind to each other. Let's be kind. Yep, let's be better, and let's use social media to help people, uplift everyone, and be positive. Right. Because that's what we got started in it for. And I know that everyone here can attest to that. I
know there's a lot of good people out there, and I know there's a lot better people out there, especially with all the comments we've been seeing.
And look at what James's situation too. You really, social media was very good for you.
It was.
And,
it was.
and,
It made my day. Every day I'd wake up, I'd be, seeing all those awesome comments all you people left on all the videos. I mean, it made my day. It lifted me up. It really did. Because you guys loved the videos, and I loved the feedback that I got from the videos. So, I mean, it helped each other out,
Yeah.
It was like,
And the one thing that
neutral.
The one thing that I like to keep in mind too, though, is if you look at these posts and the stuff that we've done since, where all some of these nasty comments come in, and you'll see hundreds of likes and a lot of great comments. And then the nasty ones, which is usually a small percentage of what's all the engagement that's happening. So that's the thing I try to keep in mind too, is that don't let that negative 10% of the population online affect you and really tell the story, rather than the other 90% of people that are liking what you're saying, and they're, and instead of commenting, they just usually like it or they see it and they go, that's awesome. But it's the nastiest, most hurt people that have nothing better to do with their time that are stalking these accounts and leaving messages and these hurtful things on every post. The little mad emoji on all the
you gotta be pretty miserable.
Going through every post is going mad emoji.
Every post and commenting all these hateful comments and all these.
It's a lot of time
comments.
spent.
That's a lot of time, guys.
You can
guys
take
spend
up a
on
new
there.
hobby,
Maybe you
start
get a part-time
sewing.
job,
Take the time, go pet a dog, go pet a dog, go to an animal shelter.
Go to an animal shelter. Maybe go to like a children's hospital, donate some time,
Yes.
maybe make a kid laugh.
Yes,
You know?
yes. There's tons of community
A lot of
service
things.
things that
Sure
can be
Pick up
done.
garbage on the side of the highway. That's more.
program for kids and stuff. I mean, there's a lot.
Can
of
you
stuff
name any
going
good
on.
things you can do with your time other than
I mean, you
yelling at
literally
people?
can do literally anything other than what you're doing.
So I think we can wrap this up, saying a few quick things here. Let's use the online platforms for positive. Try to make people's day online. If you got something nasty to say, scroll by. It'll make you feel better. And everyone else will benefit from you not making that nasty comment online. So stay tuned. You'll be seeing us all around here very soon. And thank you for your time. Keep stoking those fires.
See you guys.
Okay.